Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another great edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. Spring is moving along. It's feeling pretty good. I got another awesome guest tonight here, and before we get to him, we got to read the underwriters, and then we'll get to the show. We got Auto Country, King of the Used Car in Abington. We got Mrs. Swift's and More Antiques in Bridgewater. They wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. For all the mothers out there, open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We got Johnny Macaroni's wonderful restaurant, 3 locations, 2 in East Bridgewater, 1 in Halifax. We got Big Lee's Automotive in Abington. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Corporation in Abington with stores and locations in Abington, Rockland, Whitman, Weymouth, and Hanson. We got Team Martini and Son Floor Covering. We got Clothes Clinic Dry Cleaning and Alterations in Whitman, where Topic Time fans get 10% off. We got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, the home of the fully certified used car. And we got Chapin Sheds also in Whitman. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now we will officially start the show. Here we go.
I'm going to be entertained by you.
Okay. Okay, again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. The guests are just so full of life and awesome projects and whatnot, and it's so nice to keep getting them from far and wide. Another gentleman from another person, he's a gentleman this time from the state of Connecticut. We've had the state of Connecticut represented like unbelievable for the past month. I've had so many guests from that wonderful state, and we have another one tonight. This is DelGreco. He's an actor, he's a producer, he's a writer, and he's got a project called the Sparrow Following. It's a web series, and there's his t-shirt, and he's going to premiere a trailer from this next season on my show, which I'm totally honored to have happen with us tonight. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about him, about how he got to where he is, like I do with all my guests. So, DelGreco, thanks for coming up and being on Topic Time with me tonight.
Yeah, no problem. And that was brilliant. I love that.
Well, I don't know what you mean, but I'm sure it was everything. I'm only kidding. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, we strive for par excellence here. We're not perfect, but what we are is attention getting at the very least.
Well, I watched my friend Carrie do it, and she's a way better sport than I am.
Well, so. Not necessarily. Well, maybe she can snap a little bit, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, speaking of Carrie, I know Carrie Keyboy was the guest I had on, who's not from Connecticut, but they work together. They're good friends. She's an actress. Talk about your relationship with Carrie in filmmaking. How'd that come to be?
Well, we have a mutual friend, Paul Stamper, who was also the director of photography on The Sparrow Falling for most of it. And we did a film that should be going to Netflix pretty soon, a short film. Okay. And she played opposite me.
Oh, did she? Okay.
So we met on that film, and we got along and became Facebook friends, and we've been talking ever since. Okay.
You want to talk about the film? What's it called? Give a little synopsis.
Well, depending on the time period, sometimes it's called Blood Moon, and sometimes it's called Blue Moon. I call it Blue Moon until I hear otherwise.
Okay.
And I can't really talk too much about it because
it's
a short film and it's going to go to a big platform. But needless to say, I get abducted by a cult and weird paranormal things happen.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Is she in the cult?
She is in the cult.
She's in the cult. She's a cult type woman. I love that.
She's the ringleader as far as I know.
Yeah, she's really good at that. I got that from some of her projects since I interviewed her and just basically the reason I wanted to have her on was because I could see she had that thing going for her. Yeah. But let's talk about you now. Now you're the one I'm interviewing. I had her on. So talk about your history. You're a young man. You're obviously big in the film industry. How'd you get there? What were you like as a kid? How did it emulate to what you're doing now? And if I have any questions, I'll throw them in. Go ahead.
I was an artistic kid.
Okay, how so?
Well, I mean...
Drawing, painting, singing, dancing?
Well, all of it.
Okay.
Except for maybe dancing.
Okay.
But, so I mean, when you have pad and paper, that's what you use.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Well, writing too, then.
Yeah, but mostly as a kid it was drawing. I was big into, wrestling, so I would draw wrestlers. Big into dinosaurs, so I would draw dinosaurs.
Okay. Did you say you wrestle too?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're an athlete as well.
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, well, it's nothing vague about it. Wrestling's a big sport.
Yeah.
You gotta be athletic to do it well.
Sure. I don't do it on a professional level. I do it on an independent level.
Okay.
So
you can pin me in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I wouldn't compare myself with professional athletes.
I understand. Okay, yeah. But I was just wondering if part of your curriculum as a kid was doing athletics, and evidently it was, which is great.
Martial arts.
Even
since
better.
about
as good.
Yeah, since 5th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, you're still doing them now.
Off and on. I always go back.
Well, now that leads me to another question. Now I know you mentioned stunt coordinator in your film.
Sure.
In Sparrow Falling. I'm guessing martial arts helps you with that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Martial arts and wrestling, like the combination of the two, basically gave me the education that I needed to not only go out and work for other people, but do my own stuff.
Do your own stuff.
And do it at a certain level that some other people might not be able to do.
There you go. That's perfect. That's as it should be.
Right.
Like, so you're probably friends with Sean Burke too.
Me and Sean also did a film that I did with Carrie.
Okay, that's right. You guys are all kind of a group.
Right, except I worked with Sean at a separate time that I worked with Carrie.
Right, but it was the same film, right?
Yeah, it was the same film.
Yeah, Carrie told me
Justin
that too.
Tolliver.
Okay, Justin Tolliver, who's also a guest here.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
So we're still waiting to see that. Hopefully. Hopefully pretty soon.
All right. So this is what you did as a kid. So now you're an adult. And you spend a lot of time, I assume that your days are pretty much filled with producing, editing, and acting and writing, right?
I mean, like anybody else, I have a day job. But yes, I try to get my work done as quickly as possible, get out of my day job.
Yep.
And then, it's right to the computer or whatever I have to do.
Sure.
I'm also producing comic books. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk about the comic books. What kind of comic books? You have your own. Did you design your own characters?
Yeah, the major one that I'm doing, Legacy of Agma, that's based off of a self-published author, his fantasy novels.
Okay.
I'm just taking his stories and making them into a comic book from his first book. Okay. And then I have one based off of my wrestling character, and then a couple others coming that are just one-off kind of stories.
That's awesome. Now, when you create comic books, do you do it by yourself? Do you have a print operator, or do you do what?
Well, yeah. I mean, now with the advent of the internet and everything that's available on the internet, you could basically do anything you want.
That's true.
So I make the art, I send it out to a printer, he prints me comic books, he sends them back.
Okay. Are you selling them online?
Yes. Yeah.
They're doing well, I assume.
Well, getting there. Okay. Slow burn. We did about a year and a half worth of Comic-Cons.
Okay.
We never really broke even or made a profit. So what we're trying to do is we're kind of trying to build our inventory right now before we go back out on the Comic-Con.
That makes sense. So you got the gist of what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about the web series, The Sparrow Falling.
Sure.
Give a little synopsis, and then we're going to look at a trailer of the upcoming series,
of
the upcoming season of it.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been doing it for 2 years, is what you told me. So go on, you explain.
Okay, so really what we did is it started. I had much like you with this TV studio.
Yep.
I had a relationship with the TV studio in Wallingford, Connecticut,
okay.
WPAA TV. They're an independent studio. They get their funding based off cable subscribers.
Okay.
And I was doing a political show. I decided that I wasn't interested in doing the political show anymore, and I wanted to do something more fantasy-based.
Okay. Today, some people would say politics is a fantasy, but go on.
Yeah, well, it feels like it.
It can, yeah.
Yeah, and so the original idea was to do a horror sci-fi version of the Scottish play by
The Witch, the Scottish Plague?
The Scottish play, Macbeth.
Oh, Macbeth, sure.
Yeah.
Is that Shakespeare?
Yes, that's Shakespeare. Some people call it the Scottish play because they're superstitious and they believe in some sort of curse, and then they're spitting over their shoulder and turning it around. It's very weird.
Okay.
But theater people.
Sure.
But anyway, So shortly into producing the aesthetic for a horror sci-fi version of the Scottish play, I was getting targeted marketing on Facebook.
Okay.
And I saw that Intel was teaming up with the Royal Shakespeare Company to do a horror sci-fi version of The Tempest.
What exactly is the Royal Shakespeare Company?
It's the Shakespeare company, like the biggest Shakespeare company in Britain.
Oh, okay.
Right, in the United Kingdom.
Meaning that they produce Shakespeare plays and
huge
in mass.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Like the biggest productions there are.
Okay.
So really, what I was thinking at the time was, I don't really want to be like a smaller version of something better.
Right.
So what we decided to do is we decided to take our aesthetic, take some of the major plot points of Macbeth,
okay,
and expand it to a mini-series and write our own storyline.
Wow.
So it's like a spiritual sister to the Scottish play.
Okay. Now this is what the Sparrow Falling is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of a play on Shakespearean stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
But I mean, we've removed the storyline enough.
Okay.
Where it is its own thing.
Right. It is. I know. I saw the trailer,
right.
and to me, it looked kind of like almost like a fantasy, one of those almost like the Hobbit kind of thing, except there were no creatures. But it looked like the way the people were dressed, and the way they were talking with that, the kind of like the Lost in the Forest type of jargon. It made me think that they were supposed to be in a different world other than Earth as we know it.
Well, I don't know what these references will mean to you.
Okay.
But I tend.
Make them anyway.
Yeah, I tend to describe it to people, because the storyline's pretty complicated. I tend to describe it to people as a Game of Thrones style storyline.
Okay, and I don't watch Game of Thrones, so maybe I should.
But it's a Game of Thrones style storyline set in the Mortal Kombat universe, which is kind of a 90s reference.
Okay.
And informed by Shakespeare, basically.
Right.
Okay. Like we're not so delusional where we think, okay, we can write language like Shakespeare, dialogue like Shakespeare does. We ascend to try and write a little bit of a higher end dialogue.
Okay.
But we're not really reaching for Shakespeare level prose.
Okay, I understand. Well, it's like you don't want to plagiarize Shakespeare, but you're inspired by him.
Right.
Okay.
And I mean, plenty of people have plagiarized to great effect. I don't.
Right, that's what you want to avoid. You don't want it because you were inspired by a brilliant playwright from the 16th century or whenever he lived, and you want to have it, reflect on what you do, but you want it to be your own original work.
Well, honestly,
unquestionably.
Well, honestly, I don't really have a problem with people riffing on the classical disciplines.
Okay.
All right. Shakespeare is centuries ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, like, if somebody takes a Shakespeare play and wants to do their own thing with it, like, I don't have anything against it. Or if somebody wants to go back to, Monteverdi and take some of the themes from some of his operas.
Okay.
And do something new with it. I think that's what art is about.
It's true.
And
it almost seems like but you know what? It almost seems like if it's not hundreds of years later, then it almost is like plagiarism. But given the change in mores and folkways over the centuries, when you change, in all the styles of entertainment, how they've changed from the bard to whatever, to TV to the internet as we know it today.
Right.
That makes it more of an interesting project than it would be like if somebody did it like even 50 years after the fact.
Well, I mean, it's like with music, all right?
Yep.
There's only so many keys, so many chords.
That's true.
So many combinations that work.
Right.
That are pleasing to the ear. And again, I don't know how familiar you'll be with these references, but there's a song by Tom Petty called Last Dance with Mary Jane.
I know the song.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, 20 some odd years later,
yep,
another band called the Red Hot Chili Peppers comes out with a song called Danny California.
Okay.
All right. Now, the songs have crazy similarities.
Right.
Right. And Tom Petty basically said, man, I don't care. Like, there's only so much you can do.
I understand.
And they don't rip off on purpose. It's just, this is a combination that works. So a lot of people are going to use it.
Okay. If Tom Petty, the late may he rest, I know he passed last summer.
Yeah.
If he was okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
Right.
Now, in the meantime, we're about halfway through the show, and we're going to look at the trailer that you put together painstakingly just for the new season of the Sparrow Falling
right.
for Top
New
of Time.
episode.
The new episode.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we're going to check that out, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. Bear with us. Here we go.
That is very important. It lets you know what people are really thinking when they speak. People often don't say what they mean, just what they want you to hear.
Do you want to read my rating? I think you'll be very impressed with my improvement.
Of course I do. But for now, I need to speak with your parents a moment.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, I am all yours.
I'll hold you to it.
Time to go to sleep.
Okay.
Are we talking war?
If we must.
Andronica, do you really think that's wise?
I have the deceased Lord of Knowledge's signature on his own decree.
And you would just undermine the sovereignty of Serenia.
I am tired of this debate. We have been through this. It gives us tactical advantage and also stability for our line. You know what the lordship, little brother? Will you have us summon the other sin? I would. We meet midday. I will speak with Sapiantha beforehand.
Don't forget, a little girl who would be really upset if her aunt stood her up.
Never.
Do not make this about him. Our brother was in exile. You cannot send us to war over someone who is excommunicated.
He was our blood and they killed him. Have you no loyalty?
You know better than to question my loyalty. Over a century we've dwelled in these bodies that do not age, and never once have I given you reason to question me.
Then why are you questioning me now? Bring up your concerns when we assemble. You know, the debate is always welcome at the appropriate time.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Sal, that was incredible. That was utterly incredible. Now you talk about that, and I'm so honored that you used my show as a platform to launch that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, make the most of your opportunities, right?
Exactly.
So that was a clip from episode 4.
Yep.
There's going to be 9 live action episodes altogether.
Okay.
And then slightly afterwards, we're going to do a flash animation epilogue episode, but that's going to be down the line. So it takes me about 4 to 6 months to put together each episode. Everything's filmed already, but post takes a long time. So now we're approaching about 7 months from the release of episode 3, and I wanted to tease episode 4.
Okay.
Which centers around a character played by Savannah D'Souza.
Okay.
Who's named Andronica, and she's the Lord of Words and Messages.
Got it.
All right.
Was she the mother in that little piece there?
No, she's the aunt of that little girl that you saw.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so so the other man and woman that you saw are the parents of the little girl.
Right.
Okay, Andronica is the lord of that little den.
Okay.
All right, there are numerous dens in the realm.
I got you.
Okay, and Andronica is the lord of that one. And
you're in it too, but we're not in the trailer.
No, I'm not in that scene.
Oh, I know you're not in that scene. Okay, go ahead. You talk about it.
All right, so my character, I play the Lord of Night and Shadow.
Okay.
All right, and now he's far removed from the scene that you saw.
Right.
All right. So the basic gist of what's going on right now, and you can see episode 1 through 3 on YouTube if you just search The Sparrow Falling.
Sparrow Falling.
All right.
Yep.
So all these dens are ruled by one overlord.
Okay.
Okay. The overlord dies. He dissolves the seat of overlord.
Okay.
And hands power over to the council.
Okay.
The council is comprised of all the lords of each den. Now they have to rule democratically.
Okay.
All right. They've never ruled democratically before, so they don't quite know how to do it.
Interesting.
All right.
So it's almost like political fiction in this.
Right.
Even though you're not into politics, so you gave up that show, but that is an interesting concept. The leader dies almost, and it almost seems like in a lot of famous classics, once the leader, if an evil leader dies of a country, then everybody's happy because they're free. But then they don't know how to run it themselves because all they know is tyranny.
Well, what we didn't want is we didn't want the classic trope where the king dies, and then everybody's vying for the throne.
Oh, okay, right. There you go.
So we want to go in a little bit of a different direction.
Right, I get
but,
you.
So over the course of filming, we filmed over 8 months
Yep.
in 2017.
Yep.
I had a huge, very dedicated crew.
Yeah, I can see that.
My co-writer, Robert James,
Okay.
he was there with me from the beginning all the way to the end and is still there with me. He's in Colorado right now.
Okay.
Then, like I mentioned before, Paul Stamper.
Yep.
It wouldn't look as good as it does
If it wasn't for them.
if we didn't have Paul Stamper as our director of photography. The kid is super talented, and I call him a kid. He's
Okay.
in his early 20s, so.
Well, aren't you
know.
too?
No, I'm 35.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be 36 in August.
Congratulations. You're young enough to be my son, but you look a lot younger than you are. Must be the martial arts.
I appreciate that. You know, young in spirit.
Exactly.
So a couple other people I want to talk about on
Go ahead.
this. You know, over 80 artists, actors, filmmakers laid hands on this project at one time or another. Nobody was obligated to stay the entire time. They just came in and out as they could.
Okay.
You know, our main characters, they stayed with us the entire 8 months, kept their appearances the same. Like, they were super dedicated. You know, we had one PA. His name was Ian Howard.
Okay.
And as people seemed to like fall to the wayside, he consistently stepped up and took other roles to the point where he's going to get director's credit on episode 4.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was AD, he was director, he was script supervisor, he was a general PA. He played a small part.
Okay.
You know, so we named him the MVP of the production.
Okay, but you guys are pretty much a team.
Yeah.
And you all know that what you've accomplished, you couldn't have done without every one of you.
No,
doing his and her part.
And in all modesty, I'd like to say that at least for a few months in 2017, we were the biggest thing going on in Connecticut as far as film goes.
That's awesome.
Because people I didn't...
Now it's Brianna Densky.
Yeah, well, people I never even met knew about the project.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Because we reached so far.
Okay.
You know, we had people from Rhode Island.
Yep.
You know, like Lily Spencer and Hope Bannon came in from
Hope
Rhode
Bohannon.
Island. Huh?
Hope Bohannon?
Bannon.
Oh, Hope Bannon. I'm trying to think. Is
red hair?
Okay, I had Hope Bohannon on my show.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
it's a different woman. Okay.
Okay.
A few years ago.
You know, Chris Swanson and his daughter Abby came in from Rhode Island. You know, we had people come in from all over. We had a great special effects and makeup team.
Okay.
And Phil Skippy Adams and
I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah. He's been all over. He's done very good work on my projects and other projects I've been working on.
Okay.
We seem to, you know, meet up on just about everything.
That's great.
You know, Cameron, one of our special effects guys, especially in episode 1, came up with some amazing music, some amazing special effects.
That's so cool. He wrote all that himself. I mean, it sounds like he collaborated music and special effects. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the main theme of the Sparrow Falling is actually written by
him.
Yeah, written by him. Like, not our theme song, but like the main theme that constantly happens. Throughout each episode is a piece of music that was written by him that's basically used over and over again. And anywhere I put it, usually as soon as I drop it, I don't have to adjust it too much, and it's right there.
It works wherever you put it. You know how to insert it.
Same with our other composer, Laura Brown.
Okay.
Which you heard her music on that clip.
Okay, that was awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Literally dropped it where I needed it.
Yep.
It was the right, you know, it was written for another scene.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the right time frame. All the beats were in the right spot, and that consistently happens. Like unintentional serendipity, we like to call it.
There you go.
You know, it happens throughout the whole series. I mean, there are plot points that we didn't know we wrote.
So where are you going? What are your plans for the series? Are you going to just continue it as is? And you said something about you're bringing it to you're bringing it to a Netflix or?
No. That was something me and Carrie worked on with Paul.
Okay.
So The Sparrow Falling, we're going to give it out for free, all 9 episodes.
Great.
On YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Where we want to make our our money back, and I invested about $5,000 of my own money.
Wow.
WPAA matched me with tech support.
Okay.
Which
What's WPA? I should know.
That's a cable access station.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Wallingford.
okay.
Okay, so I know you guys know what tech support is. It's basically the people who were in the booth,
Yep.
you know, providing sound for us, providing lights for us,
Right.
making sure somebody was in the building,
Yep.
you know, providing food for us. You know, so they matched me in a partnership program to about $25,000. So we did the whole series on $30,000.
Sounds like your budget was pretty good.
I mean, for a 10-episode series where each episode almost makes an
for
hour.
a small production,
You know?
that sounds like you had an awesome budget.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, obviously for a major film, that's nothing. But for a small web series, that's a lot of moolah.
Yeah, but
I'd say.
you know, it also came with a lot of like spray painting, you know, junk that I found to make props.
Well, right. I mean, I'm not saying
yeah.
you didn't. I mean, you didn't take the basics and apply them.
Right.
But all right, listen. Guess what? We're under 5 minutes to go.
Oh no.
Well, that's good, isn't it? I mean, we made the half hour go by.
Yeah.
Now, real quick question: Did you go to college or school for any of this stuff?
I went to. I was the victim, and willing victim, I should say, because I made the choice. But I was the victim of a for-profit college.
I thought all colleges were for profit.
This one was a little different. It's the one that basically got outlawed by an Obama bill in the late 2000s.
You can name it, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
It was called Gibbs College. It started off as Catherine Gibbs College. It was a seamstress college way back in the day.
Okay.
But it was one of these colleges that advertises at like 4 in the morning. So do you want to design album covers? I was like, yeah, I want to design album covers. So I called. And it was a non-credited, you know, for-profit college. If I had graduated, my degree wouldn't have been worth much anyway.
Okay.
So I learned some stuff, but...
Well, are you happy you went there or not?
No, because, you know, I dropped $30,000 on something that was worthless. Now,
Wow.
I mean, the only thing I really got out of it was a tripod, a hard drive, and a decent camera for a couple of years.
Well, I mean, and a lesson well learned too, at least. I mean,
sure.
At the very least, that's something.
Sure.
Okay. Well, listen, before we wrap it up, you give some shouts out to the people that are going to see the show, because a lot of them are, and then we'll wrap it up. Obviously, those people that you've mentioned, your co-workers and Carrie and Sean, that we obviously are giving shouts out to them. But I don't know those other people. So if you want to mention them, just say how you doing, your family, whatever. You have any kids or girlfriend, or whatever, you can say hi to them.
Well, no, I just want to, you know, I know that a lot of my cast and crew for this project, you know, follows how I promote it.
Yep.
And so, you know, I want them to know, every single one of them, even if I didn't name them,
Yep,
you know,
of course.
that and I'll speak for Rob James as well.
Okay.
You know, because it's a dream of his to see his words come to life. And it's a dream of mine to see something that came from here get put into the world. And we wouldn't have been able to do it without this cast and crew.
Okay.
And how dedicated they were for such an extended period of time. And the TV station itself, because Susan, who works at the TV station, she was there every single day we filmed, whether we filmed for 4 hours or 12.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, she's probably Kim's counterpart over there.
That and much more.
Okay.
That place wouldn't be there if it wasn't for her.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, I hope you had a good time with me tonight.
Oh, totally, man.
Okay. I
Totally.
hope we covered the stuff that we wanted to cover.
Sure.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up. You ready to jiggy with it again?
I'm going to watch you because you're brilliant.
All right. Thank you. All right. Another great episode of Topic Time in the books. We'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good one.